Well, just going to have a rummage in the remnants of my, well, what's left of the railway. Salvaged bits and pieces. Little bits of scenics and, you know, all the bits and pieces of broken bits you keep. I'm after a hook and a ladder. That's handy. Will that fit? Ooh, now that could come in useful for what I'm about to show you shortly. Well, you think those Chinese trees were bad? This is what I had in the 90s. They weren't quite as flat as that, but they're like low profile trees, aren't they? I think that one's even gone mouldy. They do seem to, I've got one lot of lichen I had on the layout, just completely dehydrated and crumbled to dust. But this one feels quite unpleasant. I'm half expecting something to come crawling out of it. I think these will be getting, oh yeah. I think they might need reviving come D-Day. But that isn't what I was going to show you. Well, that was painful. We finally got there. I used to use this. I don't know whether it's anywhere close to scale, but it's an old Husky model, but they seem to be a bit smaller than the Matchbox ones. But that did have that was a prop on the railway layout, but this is what I was after. My kit brake van that fell to pieces, specifically because I want those hooks. Saves me buying another pack or trying to find something else. I did buy some nice Acura scale ones which I'll show you shortly, but there's a slight problem with them which I'll explain back in the house. Anyway, there's all my paints in here that may or may not be any good. Seems they've been stood up for quite some time. And you think the Scottish and the Yorkshire are tight? They ain't got nothing on me from Norfolk. All of that in these takeaway tubs is the ballast I took off of my layout. I ain't going to let it go to waste. All them hours putting it down. So it got, or it will get recycled in a yard. And I used anything to illuminate buildings. These are the old bulb holders out of car dashboards. Back in the days before stuff wasn't very available, you just go and have a wander around a local scrapyard and liberate a few lamp holders and use those in your buildings. But while we're here, I'll have a quick little look and see if there's anything else useful. Plaster of scrim. Used to use that on me models, as it wasn't very easy to get hold of mod rock and that sort of stuff. No shops around here that do anything like that. Still isn't much of a shop around here now. So I'll have a look and see what's in the other one. Well, it's the salvage of the models that were in the building. They all got packed away in this box fairly quickly, and rather strategically so that to try and avoid any further damage, because the shed was letting in quite a bit of water and things were damp. Unfortunately, it looks like the shed I've been storing it in, which is why they're in here now, was also had the cheap nasty felt that it comes with. So problem was, again, there's a lot of dampness in that shed, so I brought them in my brewery, which is the last hope. But yeah, there's all sorts of odds and sods I've been finding, and oh yes, if you want to put a model together quickly, hot melt glue gun. But, it'll scratch the pane of glass, makes it look like a crack. Old school trick that is, but I found this. I can't remember where it comes from. Must have picked it up in the old rubbish bins in the end of the... I'll just put it back together because the brush was out. That's the wrong contact spring. That looks like a Hornby X04 retaining spring, which isn't long enough for this. It's had a little bit of modification under here to make it fit whatever it was made to fit. It's a 5-pull motor. It's just got Hong Kong written on the top, so I'm wondering if it's probably an old mainline motor or an Airfix mainline, I don't know. Maybe some of you guys can shed some light on it. But, yeah, can't remember getting it, but I got it now. So I'll delve deeper in here and see if there's anything useful I can liberate. I've just found these, which I think were supposed to be carpets, stair carpets, but obviously strategically cut. They could become curtains now, along with those nice tasteful 1970s designs. 60s, 70s I guess, I don't know. But they might do for that them laser cut buildings I've got. Seems I haven't got a colour printer to make any. And I found a couple of cuttings. This is a sort of rather fuzzy, very old photograph of the bridge that used to go over the River Ouse from South Lynn Station, across the river, and then over to Sutton Bridge. And there's another one in here, which is Grimston Road at Roydon, which I think there's only one part of it left now. The rest of it is all warehousing for chemical supplies, I think. So a couple of little memorabilia blast from the past. Although obviously with the advent of the internet you can sort of find these now. I've got quite an extensive file I'm building when I find stuff on forums and that, and I save the photographs for future reference. Possible ideas, like you can see the signal box there. So we'll have a delve in, see if I turn up any more treasures. 2 casualties, although I think I was going to change the stanchions on that anyway, but we've got my Dapol water tower, looks like it still survived unscathed. And there's the gatekeeper's cottage there. That's not looking so healthy though. It's got like mildew on the paper roof. And there should be another one of those in here, the later version, which was actually plastic moulded. That was the early Hornby kit, where it was just a paper wrap. And they've done a later version of it, which had embossed plastic sheeting. And of course we've got the essential here, which was my son's, and yeah. Only church that'll be on the layout. Yeah, there's the later version of that same model with embossed plastic. My only nice tree I had. And, very realistic, they look like they've been cut off a Christmas tree, don't they? And plenty more of the old trackside fencing. I always like that. That's it, I think. I think this needs going through at my leisure rather than your boredom. There's the old triangle hopper thing, which may find a new life on the layout in a warehouse or something. So we'll put this all to bed and continue back at Modelling Central. Right, well, I got the hooks out. I thought I'd have a go at getting that weight out, because that might come in handy for many of the wagons that I've got that would probably do with one of these back in them. We now have an open plan brake van. Yeah, never mind. Nothing a dab of glue can't put right. I can actually experiment with my mech liquid plastic glue I've bought and see if that needs thickening up. Anyway, let's move on to what the whole purpose of this video is for, or part of it anyway. As you remember, a few videos back I acquired this and used it in part as a donor to repair one of these 3 that I got that were all damaged. I managed to glue the broken buffer section, as you can see a smudge of glue there, back on, and I nicked the entire beam off of one of them to put on another one. But there is still one of these that's got a cracked buffer head, and I never like anything to go to waste, so I thought maybe I could cut a bit of plastic card, and I needed some buffers to repair the other one, so I came up with a plan. Aided by Michael at Rusty Rails, who does a class 60, I think it is, set of 3D printed buffers. They were the only things I could get that were anywhere near close to the originals. They're not perfect, but they're, you know, a pair on one end, you're not going to notice the difference. The only thing with these is obviously being 3D printed. They're completely flat. But again, I don't think that's something you're really going to notice when it's running around the track. Obviously the idea was I'd cut myself some 0.75 plastic card if I can pick it up to make a new bar to go on there. Glue a couple of those on, you know, you got the idea. But you can see there's a very slight hook detail. So I thought, yeah, I'll get myself a nice, smart looking 3-link coupling. I had a look on Paul Bartlett's photographs at the tankers, and you can't see them very well in here, but I bought a pack of these very nice little metal Akira scale ones that were perfect for the job. Well, bar one problem. You can't see it on these because unfortunately these have not got any coupling heads on the buffers, bogies even, because they chopped them off and then thought KD couplings were a good idea. So I need to purchase a couple of those pieces from Vectus, convert them to NEM and put couplings back on them again. Have some description, they do stick out a bit, the originals, but the problem was with the hook and the 3-link coupling hanging down, they're quite rigid in the pack. So if you're going around a corner and this is doing that, guess what gets in the way? The 3-link chain piece, which is the nice feature detail. Throws a spanner in the works. Now I could move it higher, but then it would look a bit odd stuck right up on the top, and even then it still caught the hook on the coupling ring. So yeah, pack of those. Maybe they'll end up detailing locomotives or something, but they're not going to fit this bit of rolling stock. So I thought, well, even just a hook would do. So these are the ones I've robbed out of that brake pan. So the idea is then in the chop that in, fit that in. Obviously I've got to cut through the main piece there, it needs filing down. Put that on just as a little embellishment, and glue that on, and 2 of those buffers painted up. Job's a good one. We just then obviously need to sort out a way of getting couplings back on it again. The idea of me chopping this about was I thought I may be able to get one of my little battery packs in here or on it, concealed somewhere. Although there's not really anywhere to conceal anything, they wouldn't fit in there. They would foul the track. I might be able to get one here and just make it look like some of the, you know, running gubbins. And then obviously a couple of micro wires come up, and then an end of train light goes on the new beam. And that ladder I was looking for, because the other end is devoid of the ladder, and that just about fit. I have tried to bend it and I've already cracked it, but it's a little bit thicker than the other one, so the curvature here does, you know, but it'll do. and it will save me buying a load of fine scale ones and paying the postage and whatnot. So yeah, save that bit. We'll chuck them in that box for another project later on. Save the day. These were the original, which I think you can still get from Romford, but obviously a pack of those are quite a bit of money now. This was the old tank kit, I think it was the Dapol one, which is where that ladder comes from. I was going to see if I can just get the vacuum pipe up as well. I haven't got any of those kicking about. And we'll put that on the buffer beam detail as well. So that was the plan, as is at the minute. So that's it. All that rummaging around in a box. You know, there's a reason we keep all this junk for 20 years. It will come in useful, and it did 20 years later.